6:12 p.m. on September the 17th, 2025, the state of Florida ended the life of David Joseph Pittman, a man who had spent 35 years on death row for one of the most brutal family murders in the state's history. But just moments before the lethal injection began, Pittman looked through the glass at the witnesses and delivered a chilling final statement. "I know you all came to watch an innocent man be murdered by the state of Florida. I am innocent. I didn't kill anybody. That's it. This is the story of a triple murder that shocked a small Florida town, a decades-long legal battle, and a death row inmate who went to his grave claiming he was not the killer. In the next few minutes, you'll hear how the crime unfolded, the evidence that sealed Pittman's fate, the political push behind his execution, and the final moments inside Florida's death chamber. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to May 15th, 1990, to a quiet home in Mulberry, Florida, where Clarence Knowles, 60, his wife Barbara, 50, and their daughter Bonnie, just 21, were living their ordinary lives. By the end of that night, they would be dead, stabbed, their home engulfed in flames, and their killer speeding away into the darkness. Pittman was in the middle of a bitter divorce from Marie Knowles, the surviving daughter of Clarence and Barbara. Prosecutors said he had threatened her family multiple times. That night, investigators believe he cut the phone line to the Knowles home, entered with a knife, and attacked. Clarence, Barbara, and Bonnie were stabbed repeatedly. The house was then set ablaze, flames shooting 25 feet into the air, visible for blocks. Neighbors woke to the smell of smoke and the sound of sirens. Firefighters arrived to find the home an inferno. Pittman fled in Bonnie's car. Hours later, the car was found abandoned and burning miles away. Witnesses placed him near the scene. A jailhouse informant later testified that Pittman confessed to the murders in chilling detail. Pittman was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, arson, and grand theft. The prosecution painted him as a man consumed by rage and revenge. The jury deliberated for just hours before finding him guilty. The sentence, death. For the surviving family, it was justice, but not closure. Over the decades, Pittman's lawyers filed appeal after appeal. They argued he had an intellectual disability with an IQ in the low 70s, making him ineligible for execution under constitutional law. Florida's courts rejected the claims as untimely and without merit. On September the 16th, 2025, the US Supreme Court denied his final appeal. Governor Ron DeSantis signed Pittman's death warrant in August 2025. This was Florida's 12th execution this year, the most in modern state history. Supporters saw it as justice long overdue. Opponents, including Floridians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, called it punishment as spectacle and state-sanctioned violence. Pittman woke at 5:45 a.m. His final meal, steak, chicken, and biscuits. No public record of any visitors that day. At 6 p.m., he was led into the death chamber, strapped to a gurney under harsh fluorescent lights. Witnesses sat behind glass as the IV lines were inserted. Pittman gave his final words, short, defiant, and unwavering in his claim of innocence. As the lethal drugs flowed, Pittman took several deep breaths. Within moments, his chest stopped rising. He was pronounced dead at 6:12 p.m. Outside the prison, a small group of protesters held signs against the death penalty. For the Knowles family's surviving members, the execution closed a legal chapter but could never erase the loss. For Florida, it was another mark in a year of record executions. 2 more death warrants are already signed for the coming weeks. For 35 years, David Joseph Pittman sat on death row for a crime that prosecutors say was driven by rage and revenge. He went to his death insisting he was innocent. Was this justice served or a tragedy compounded? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this story compelling, hit like, subscribe for more gripping true crime cases, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one.